Okay, we're going to talk about, you guys have heard me say this before, about the difference between a hard, crazy leftist and a mere normal Democrat leftist. There are differences, and they're shaking themselves out in this post-election. Jon Stewart is someone who is a man of the left, but he's not so crazy that he's willing to lie even after he's been caught, or continue down the path of a lie when he realizes it's a lie. He's not going to keep going down it. I think to that end, he's a more honest comedian than many of them on the left. Welcome to the Doug TenNapel channel. I'm Doug TenNapel. This is where the happy patriots continue to celebrate Trump's massive win. And very weird, you know, Jon Stewart is here. He could be ripping on Trump. There's almost nothing they can say against Trump at this point. First of all, they're saying it also against the people. But let's give him some words first.
Joe and Mika going down there might be one of my favorite, when they had to come out and go, and so we did. Like, they spent the year going, this man will destroy all that you hold dear.
So he's a comedian and he's mocking the left. That's something we don't usually see. It certainly isn't something that you see from a zealot. If he was a zealot, it would be defend that old narrative as long as you can, hold on to it, and then attack the other side. Just keep going after Trump, orange man bad. And he's not. A whole bunch of people on the left are turning in greater and greater numbers against what the Democrats just did, saying we can't keep doing that. That's not a winning path. Whatever it is, we're going to call it out for what it is. So James Carville's doing it. Bill Maher does it. So lots of comedians, lots of people. But that one on Joe and Mika are still doubling down on the lie. They are lying to their audience. And that's why we call them out. Jon Stewart is telling the truth, and Mika and Joe are still lying.
He is a Hitler Mussolini cocktail mix. And we must all say, literally 1 week later, they're like, so we have lunch, light lunch.
Oh, and the girls are laughing. All these same people that were like, Trump is Hitler, Trump is a fascist. Even Bill Maher says, you know, Trump's not going to, he just doesn't believe Trump's going to leave office. You lied to yourself, or you believed something wrong or whatever. I'm trying to give you as much room to be wrong as you can. Now you see Trump has not changed. So what changed? Oh, he won an election. And the people saw through all of the left's garbage and said, whatever you were trying to do to get him not to win, it didn't work. And so now comes a new form of pragmatism on the left, where they go, well, if that didn't work, I guess we have to join him to have proximity to power. Joe and Mika go, I guess we better go suck up to him and pretend like he's dumb and think that he has a very short memory and he'll just forget what we said. And though he hasn't changed, the same guy that we said was a fascist, he hasn't changed. We have changed. Now we're admitting we're going to go hang with him, okay? They would not hang with a fascist. I don't care who, maybe Joe and Mika would, but let's just give them the benefit of the doubt and say they're not going to go hang out with Hitler. They're calling out their own lie and admitting that they were liars before in going to hang out with him. They're demonstrating what they really think of Trump, and they should have said it about Trump before he won. I don't know if they're capable of doing that.
I get the watercress salad, and you know Joey. He loves shrimp fra diavolo. So and the Mar-a-Lago shrimp fra diavolo is delicious. I thought that was one of the more remarkable.
And I'm happy that they went to Mar-a-Lago, Joe and Mika did, because even to Jon Stewart, he's going, this is one of the more remarkable. In the first clip, he said, this is my favorite moment. So it is funny and delicious to watch, because we can all learn from fakers. And by the way, the same kind of thing might have happened against Trump if he lost. If he lost, everyone would be going, Kamala Harris is the way, and Trump, everything he stood for was wrong. That's why he lost. He lost because he picked J.D. Vance as a vice president. So now no one believes he's any good. And he lost because he said he was for tariffs, because he said he was for shutting down the border, because he said he was for lowering the price of foods. They'd all be going, now we all know that Kamala was right, that you raise taxes, that you leave the border open, that you perform trans surgeries on illegals in prison and stuff. They'd all be doing the same thing. That's what a follower does. The lesson here is, don't be a follower. Be like Jon Stewart. We got to call out our own side, and then it's extra delicious to call out the other side. But Jon Stewart is not a follower, and he's not a mere pragmatist.
But it shows the performative nature of so much of all of this shit. which is, again, when you talk about credibility, like,
Yeah, and I think he's a true skeptic. A lot of skeptics, like, they won't even buy their own side. I actually think Bill Maher's a little bit of a skeptic, too. I also see it in Anna Kasparian and Cenk Uygur, the ones that are turning against the left, and Carville going, whatever that was a performance, and that was wrong. And that's where Jon Stewart, you can tell he's just like disgusted by what his side did. Yes, that's your party. And yes, that's your candidate. I'd love to hear if you voted for Trump or not to show that you're really an honest vendor of some kind. But maybe he doesn't have to promote Trump. But at the very least, don't carry the water of the liars in your party. I won't do it. And I'm telling you guys, I hope, of course, you guys won't do it. We, on this side, you guys have heard me criticize Trump on his life issue and on being a light on traditional marriage and all that. I can vote for the guy easy. And I also have no problem with criticizing him if he does something wrong. It's just very rare that I see him do something wrong. I'm Doug, in exile.